My name is Heather Stannard and welcome to the Cowichan Valley. In our Notebook 10 technique tutorial, we're going to take a look at picture transparency. Transparency is when you take an object that is solid, or you take a part of an object or a picture that is solid and you make it see-through. So let's take a look at a couple of examples. The pictures that I have here today I collected from openclipart.org, and they are available for use through the Creative Commons licensing. So our first image here looks to be just fine for using on our page, but when we move it across our other image, we notice that we do have the full rectangle where the background has been filled in for our picture. And this is going to cause some issues on our page as we try to structure activities for our students. So what we need to do is we need to select our picture, and from the drop-down menu, we are going to select Picture Transparency. Now, with this particular technique, all we need to do is select the color that we do not want to have showing in our picture. We want to make that area or that color transparent. If we're happy with our selection, we can go set transparency. And now, when I move this object across our other object, we'll notice that the background of the object has been removed. Another way we can check is if we actually go to our Properties tab and change the background color of our page to something like, let's check how things look with a bright green behind. So yes, this object no longer has the rectangular background behind. Now, we'll put our background back to white, and let's take a look at our second collection here. Here we have a delightful penguin, but he kind of gets lost in all of the background that's around him. I'd like to keep the red, but this brown is really of no use, so I'm going to select this object. I am going to select Picture Transparency, and now I'm going to deselect our brown. There's a bit of a border that's left, but that's just fine on our white background. I'm going to set transparency, and again, I now have less of a distraction for my viewers, for my students. Here's an example of on the next page where we might use this technique. Here I have a happy little wood duck floating in the pond, and so you can imagine that this area here, which is the squared off area of our picture, if it had a white background that was solid, we would not be able to get the effect of having our duck swimming merrily in the pond. So on the next page, let's take a look at how this is done. Here's my duck, and my duck in this picture doesn't have the transparent background. The background is solid. So we select the duck, we select Picture Transparency, we look at our white background and select it, and now we go set transparency. And so now my duck is able to come into the pond and not distract us with his background. Picture transparency is a quick, easy technique that's available in Notebook 10 that allows us to customize our pages without having distracting backgrounds in the way.